Hey YouTube, it's me, it's the man who likes to RANT, dropping a fresh VID for you today. And hey, how about that new intro, huh? I think it looks pretty good. Big shout out to my boy, the Bad Gamer. I'll put a link to his channel down in the description below. He's the one who came up with that. Thank you very much, and may you have all the success in your YouTube ventures that you're seeking. You're probably expecting the WrestleMania review at this point, but upon request of one of my viewers, I thought I might step back and take a look at our new WWE World Heavyweight Champion that came out of the works at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns. One of the things that I constantly get asked is, why is there so much hate on Roman Reigns? And there could be any number of reasons, but I'm going to touch on the ones that I think are most prevalent in his current career from my point of view. When you look at Roman in the time he spent with The Shield, it was obvious that he was there as the cleanup guy. You know, Rollins and Ambrose did the work, and Roman was the guy who came in and cleaned house and did the spear, and it was cool. And as long as those three would have stayed together, they would have had a run. Frankly, I think the Shield got cut off way too quickly, but it's worked out well for at least the other two out of the three. So why is Roman struggling? Well, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that they were pushing Roman as the guy, while the rest of the WWE Universe clearly wanted Daniel Bryan. I swear I have never seen a wrestler as over as Daniel Bryan was when he was wrestling since the Hogan era in the late 80s, early 90s. Really, I mean, this dude was over anywhere he went, didn't matter. But, you know, the fact that WWE is trying to push Roman over the sentimental fan favorite of Daniel Bryan probably has a great deal to do with it. Because when you think about the shortcomings that a lot of people think Roman has, when he first started his singles career, they're like, well, he doesn't have the endurance to last long. You know, he's really worked on that, guys. He's really made himself better. So I don't think that's part of it. Is his perceived lack of charisma a problem? Yes, certainly it is, but it's also a small lack of courage on Roman's part that's not entirely his fault. You see, Vince McMahon has positioned himself so that WWE is the biggest stage that anyone who aspires to be a professional wrestler can be on, and if you mess with the boss, it's very likely that you'll be sent down to a minor league such as TNA or even the independent circuit, where you have to begin to toil all the way back up again. As such, if you're a wrestler who is not named John Cena, you are constantly walking on eggshells because you don't want to lose your career since you made it to the big stage. But what everybody, including Roman, is failing to remember is that if you dare aspire to be a top guy in this business, at some point, when Vince says, we're going to take you and your character this direction, and you look at that and you think, if I do that, I'm going to end up looking like an idiot. Or, if you don't think you're going to look like an idiot, but you also think, my character, the way you've sculpted me, isn't going to work if we go that direction. You have to be ballsy enough to step up and say, no, Vince, we're not going that direction. You and creative have to come up with something different. And unfortunately, Roman can't. I'm not going to say he can't. He feels like he doesn't have the ability to say that because his position where he is tenuous at best. Also, I'm going to take you guys on a trip down memory lane. Some of you may remember an event that happened in 1997 at Survivor Series, affectionately now known as the Montreal Screwjob. Well, I think ever since that time, when WWE chose Shawn Michaels over WWE, Shawn Michaels over Bret Hart, management such as Vince McMahon and anyone who has anything to do with booking decisions have eternally painted themselves as the bad guy because Bret was incredibly disrespected at a time that he was still respected by the fans. And so when you do that, you constantly paint yourself as the bad guy. And so anybody that the corporation, being WWE, supports, which in this case is Roman because they're pushing him to the moon, you're putting him behind the 8 ball because you're saying, we want you to like this guy, and the fans are saying, we don't want to like him. We don't want to like the guy that you like. We want to hate him instead. Which brings me to my other head-scratching point. You have tried this experiment in regards to Roman Reigns to make him your top babyface, your top good guy, and you've done everything you can. You push him, you push him, you push him, and Vince, look at me, right in the eye, son. You're looking at me in the whites of my eyes? It's not working. This experiment you're trying has failed. In fact, I have not seen a failure of this magnitude since your days as the owner of the XFL. You know, they say the definition of insanity is doing something over and over and over again the same way and somehow thinking, this time I'm going to get a different result. If you want to salvage Roman's career, you need to turn this guy heel. Then you have feuds with guys who you know are going to get that babyface reaction when they come back, like Cena and Orton and even Rollins to a point could be brought back in as a babyface because we've all missed him so much. In that case, if you have Roman turn on the fans in the middle of the ring and have him cut a promo where he just lets his emotions go and he says things like, I have given you everything, WWE Universe. I have poured my heart and soul and emotions, wore my emotions out on my sleeve. I gave everything to you, and you constantly spit it back in my face. Well, you know what? Screw you. Now Roman is out for himself, or something to that effect. Get that kind of emotion going. And then the boos will rain down, which he's already getting. So I think at that point, you could take him a different direction and salvage something, because I do believe with the talent this guy shows, if you make him a heel like the fans have been saying they want, and if you listen to the fans the way you say you do, WWE, this needs to happen, because this kid does have far too much talent to be wasted in this way. I think as a heel champion, you get mega heat everywhere he goes, because now if the fans don't like him, they don't want to see him with the title. And every time he does, not only is that going to get more heat for Roman, which will make him over, which is what you want in the first place, people are going to pay to see who is the guy that is going to knock this guy down. And then whoever it is, you instantly catapult him into the position to potentially be the megastar babyface that you're looking for. So this is really kind of a, you say it's a double-edged sword because you're taking a risk, but I can't see anything but profitability. I know it's been a long-standing tradition that you don't give the fans everything they want when they're telling you they want it. And you don't do that because you shoehorn yourself. You give yourself no room for creative control, no room for an unexpected twist, because if the fans dictate it, they know they can control the show and make whatever happens. But occasionally it is not a bad idea when your fan base is asking for something so fervently to say, okay, if you'll accept this better and you'll tune in more often, if we change the direction and go the way you want, we'll do it. And sometimes it works. I'm not saying it has to happen every time, but it's really something that management within WWE should consider. Because let's face it, Roman has all the attributes to be great in this business. A fantastic look. He's got fantastic athleticism. I'm using fantastic a lot. Arnold Schwarzenegger would be proud. The lineage is there with the Anoa'i family. I mean, when The Rock's your cousin and you were trained by the Samoans who have trained the likes of superstars like Batista, you know how to work. And Roman has showed that he's willing to put in the effort to become a better superstar because he's improved leaps and bounds from when he first started his singles career, whether the fans out there want to admit it or not. I think it's a shame because I can tell Roman's trying. I think it's also a shame that, unlike John Cena, who can go into an arena and be cheered or booed and you can see he doesn't care, you can tell in Roman's face that he's trying everything he can think of to get over as a good guy, and he's defeated right now because it's not working. So, we need to revitalize this character. How do you do that? Well, for starters, you might want to give him a different set of finishing maneuvers. The Superman punch isn't beating anybody. Yeah, it looks kind of cool, but it's not beating him. The spear can be too easily dodged. I really think this guy could benefit from some kind of huge sort of slam. You might even think about having him incorporate like a torture rat kind of maneuver as a finisher. Anything that can capitalize on the raw strength that Roman Reigns does have, it's there. Everybody can see it. You might also want to give him a different theme song because unfortunately, when people hear the theme song that Roman comes out now, they're still thinking Shield. And unfortunately, Shield doesn't exist. That's the one thing that, when Rollins and Ambrose come out, they're their own individual. They've been allowed to carve their own legacy. And unfortunately, Roman has been given the remnants of his character as a Shield. And as an individual, it doesn't work. You need to find a way to pump new life into this character. And if you take some of the things I've taken into consideration, you'll see a much more positive return on your investment, which is sizable. And I get it. There's a huge upside to Roman. You're not wrong in what you're doing. You're just presenting it in a way that your fan base, who may I remind you, ends up making all the big decisions as to when a guy gets over and when he doesn't. They're saying, no, we're not accepting this guy as a babyface right now. But we might accept him if you turned him into an ass kicker of a heel. That's my 2 cents on Roman Reigns. I hope he gets more success because he has worked hard on it. Ranter's gonna get off the soapbox. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.